Good evening, everyone. I want to discuss how to recognize stress in students from an article inside of the National Education Association. That is the program in which I became a member of for our particular class. And this particular stress management um, presentation basically describes how these issues can affect classroom management. There are several ways that stress can be not only noticed in students, but also a part of their behavior. These students can be irritable and angry, and you will also notice a change in behavior. And they would also start to neglect responsibilities. That could be classwork or just listening to commands in the classroom. Irritability and anger. Children don't always have the words to describe how they're feeling, and sometimes these tensions bubble up over into bad moods. Stressed out kids and teens might have more short tempered or argumentative or are argumentative more than normal. And that will be seen in teaching lectures and things like that. Another thing that I stated was a change in behavior. A young child who is used to being a great listener, you would notice that in your classroom, would suddenly start acting out. A once active teen now doesn't want to leave or do any activities outside of the house or do any activities in the classroom. And these sudden changes can be signs of stress, and these levels can be very high. Also, students would start to neglect responsibility. Um, if the student starts to neglect doing homework or forget obligations at home, that could be also obligations to any events and activities that are extra at school. Start to procrastinate. These are signs that show that the student is stressed and or is a stress factor. In the assignment, we were asked to give a formal experience, or a farmer, excuse me, experience. So here's my former experience. I was in high school and I was very popular as an athlete. And I moved from New Orleans to Des Moines, Iowa. Um, and now I'm just a new student at this popular school, very large school named Theodore Roosevelt. And I was trying to join a basketball team, and in doing so, um, there was a really good point guard already established at the school. Well, there was hearsay that I said that I was better than her, or that I was trying to take her spot, which in all actuality, yes, but that being better than her, that would never was stated. And because of that, we had several weeks go by where there was tension, not only during the tryouts, but after um, I made the team, but didn't actually get the starting position, which was okay. I understood. But that is not true. I didn't understand then. Now I understand, but I didn't understand then. Um, I was actually very stressed out about the rumors, and I didn't know how to take it in because I was like 15 years old, freshman high school, and she was like a junior, I think. So that feeling that overcame me was really hard to deal with, and it actually took two of the particular steps in how to overcome particular stressors in high school helped out, which I really didn't realize. And I will give you an example. On the National Education Association site, and in their particular research, they said that you should write about it. Research was found that expressing oneself in writing can help reduce mental distress and improve well being, which did happen. And some researchers have found that, for an example, that writing about positive feelings, such as things that you're grateful for or proud of, can ease the symptoms of anxiety and depression. And those things definitely helped. The funny thing is, once me and the other particular athlete became friends, we started writing back and forth in between classes, keeping notebooks, and I was kind of glad for that. Another example would be letting kids be the problem solvers. It's natural to want to fix your child's problem. That's what they say. Be it a teacher, be it the parent, being grandmother, grandfather, sibling. However, it is stated that when you allow the child to become the problem solver, they learn healthier skills. Letting the children try to solve their own problems on their own, they will gain confidence and they will be able to deal with stressors and setbacks. That could be in the classroom. That can also be in friendships and other relationships, depending on the situation. In a classroom, to manage their behavior, if you allow them to be a problem solver, there are many steps that can be taken. They can work on side the teacher, or they can work in groups with other students. They can sit down and actually talk to students in a group setting. So there are many ways where these stressors can help um, them be better. Um, I also am going to move forward to part B, where we were asked the information from our major, how could that apply to the classroom setting? And I said that being an English secondary education major, writing can also help combat negative thinking. Children and teens can easily fall into a trap of negative thinking, and that could be a stress factor. And when children use negative self talk, um, they cause issues within the classroom, and they cause issues with being able to handle adults speaking to them. Um, it gives them a chance to pretty much think about what they want to say and how they would want to say it. And it also gives them a chance to remind themselves that times they worked hard and how they can improve. Learning from time to time can be positive, and giving them a chance to just sit back and think about particular situations that are negative to them. This gives them a chance to develop a resilience for that, and I mean resilience for that stress. Um, I'm going to move forward to part C, and that is basically speaking about how family support um, can help outside the classroom with their particular behaviors, be it negative and or positive. And I said that this information could support family members or friends being how to tackle stress in a classroom by showing them the importance of playing a part in the student's education and emotions. Um, Being upfront and forward with the student that they're in good care and that they're cared for. I believe that at home that is very important. We should not just forget that just because we send a student off to college or send a student off to high school, that we're done and our hands are, released or whatnot. I believe that by adapting as a parent or a guardian, healthy habits and helping children and teens find stress managing strategies, that will allow them to also know that they are cared for and that there is support at home, because we're evidently showing them through um, the exercises that we choose to sit down and show them and work with them. Lastly, I would like to discuss and show you some flashcards as a demonstration for the KWHL assignment. And K basically states that know prior to the investigation. What did I know prior to the investigation? I know that we are in a world where a lot of stress factors are evident. I do know that a lot of students deal with things that are hard to cope with sometimes, and they bring those things to school. As a future teacher, I would want the students to know that I understand. I understand that there are things at home that they go through. I want to be a safe haven. Not going to say that that always works, but I also know that showing that care, that love, that will give them that opportunity to push forward in education more so than to be a neglect or to neglect that education. And I want students to know that I understood that. And that's what I felt the case stood for me. And that was the information that I felt that I know prior to doing this particular assignment. The next letter is W, and I will read to you. It says, wanted to learn during the investigation. What did I want to learn after doing information about stress factors and how that could affect classroom management? I really wanted to learn that are there any particular um, activities that could be done in the classroom. This particular article didn't go that far into the activity side. However, it gave me a chance to now go in and either create an activity or look for activities within the class setting and other particular websites and organizations to see that if I can use that in the classroom. Because if I can, I will. And that will, again, better help the student be successful and lose a particular stress when coming to school, as applied to saying that school is a part of the stress now. I will move on next to H. H states how I plan to learn the information. And this is kind of interesting for me because how I plan to learn the information is pretty much reading and doing research and making particular plans toward activities for students. Not being stressed myself and not bringing issues toward class that would show the students that I also am dealing with something and I also am struggling. Um, if I if I promote myself as a stress-free teacher, then those particular students would actually want to come in and learn, and actually want to pay attention to what I have to say. And that's what I believe that H is basically teaching me. Lastly, is L. And L states learning the implications of my future behaviors. I believe that stress can overtake a person. Um, I believe that stress is difficult to actually see and notice. Um, and through the research that I gathered, I saw that we can attack stress easily by taking the opportunity to eliminate it before it actually happens. Again, we do have to put into play that there are certain situations outside of school that we cannot control. However, if we take an icebreaker and gear it towards students that we see have changed their behavior or show particular stress factors from the example and the research and the information that I've given today, then we can not particularly save them, but we can show them that, hey, I see what's going on, and I am here to let you know that you're not alone in this. Please talk to me. again, being that teacher that shows love and care instead of just throwing them to the wayside, instead of doing what happened in chapter 11 from the information. Excuse me, not what happened in chapter 11, but what happened in the video, the TED Talk that we were given, and how chapter 11 was showing us how to approach the situations, not being one of those administrators who just throw Trayvon to the side. Like we don't have to be that person. We can be the teacher that's like, hey Trayvon, I see that you crossed your legs. I see that you're working hard. I am here to let you know, thank you for doing a great job. Instead of tossing them to the wayside and being a part of the same teacher batch that just wants to suspend students for negative energy and negative situations that basically come up to them. I mean, instead of giving up, we can now give into love for the student. I hope that the information that I have presented today was informative and also a part of the curriculum that you, Dr. Artley, requested. I wish you a great evening, and to all the students, I also wish them a great evening. And thank you for so much for listening to what I had to say on how to eliminate stress in students in your classroom and making sure that your classroom management is effective. Have a great evening. Thank you.